When that Pharaoh chariot comes, I'm gonna leave you. I'm bound for the promised land. I'm gonna leave you. I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave you. Farewell, oh farewell, but I'll meet you in the morning. Farewell, oh farewell, I'll meet you in the morning. I'm bound for the promised land, on the other side of Jordan, bound for the promised land. I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave you. Farewell, oh farewell, but I'll meet you in the morning. Farewell, oh farewell, oh, I'll meet you in the morning. Farewell, oh farewell, oh, I'll meet you in the morning. Farewell, oh farewell.
Broken down and tired, open light for the merry-go-round. If you can find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we'll walk it out. Mountains, we'll walk it out. Mountains, and I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, rain. And I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, like the waves. I'll rise up, it's flying. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to read. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise you'll take the world to its feet. Mountains, bring me to the deep. Mountains, here I rise up, high like the day. I rise up, like the rain. I rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And I rise up, like the waves. I rise up, it's far to the end. I rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. Where was I? Hello? Who are you?
My name is Brittany. I ran away from home because I need freedom from my mean stepmother and my father's not paying me any attention. I just want to do as I want when I want. He?
Child, look at you. You all dressed up looking like you're free to me. You ain't got no safe clothes on and your hair's looking all nice. Look at those shoes. Child, if you ain't free, what is it?
But I never get to have my way. Every time I ask for something, my stepmother says no, and my father goes along with her. I want a new phone. She says I'm too young. All my friends have them. Why can't I?
Child, when I was your age, I had nothing. Let me give you a little advice. Be glad you have someone who loves, cares for you. I didn't have those things. I made it through a life you could not even imagine. They call me Moses. I paved the way for you to have freedom, and you don't seem to realize what you have. Let me take you for a walk sometime down this road, and let me show you what you should be thankful for. Let's venture down this road, and now watch what I say and do exactly what I say if you want to stay free. I'm taking you back to my childhood to show you what you should be thankful for. Because in case you don't know where you've been idea of where you go. We're going to show you and teach you some history because in case you don't know where you've been, you have no idea where you've been. And all you need to know is your parents love and care for you and they're giving you what you need. I didn't have this. It wasn't because my parents didn't love and care for me, but times were different and they ain't got no choice in matter. Now, I don't know what a cell phone is, but looking at you, you weren't hurting for nothing important in your life.
Take me to the river. I wanna go. Wanna go. Take me to the river. I wanna go. Wanna go. Our eyes on the prize. Hold on. Work all day and work all night. Try to get our silver rights. Keep your eyes on the prize. Hold on. Ah! Vicky, get up here now! Yes,
Honey, that is me as a child. My name was Araminta, but they call me Minty. I was born a slave in Maryland, and my mother, Harriet Green, was owned by her brother's family. My mother loved me, but as slaves, our lives did not belong to us. My mother was a cook, and my father, Ben Rose, chopped wood on a nearby plantation. You see, we are considered plantation. I don't know my birthday, because in my time, they didn't think it was important to care about the birthdays of slaves. Now, I gotta rest now.
my childhood was full of work and hardship. My childhood was full of work and hardship. I had to take care of my brother and sister while my mother worked. I worked at marshes, checking traps. Took care of other kids and babies in plowed fields and hot timber. I was forced to work even on top of the measles. I became so ill, my mother had to take care of me.
I suffered a tragic head injury by a weight thrown by another slave, meant to hit another slave, hit me instead. I had headaches, hallucinations, my head was split open. I married John Tillman, a free black man. I changed my name from Araminta to Harriet. My husband planned to buy my freedom, but I got sick again and my master said I was useless to him and he was going to sell me. I pleaded and prayed he would sell me. I prayed, kill him, Lord, get him out of my way. Rhoda died a week after. I regretted my prayer because I knew for sure I was going to get sold. So I decided to escape with both of my brothers.
So we went back.
to escape to freedom. I had to learn not to be caught, so I prepared my tools. You need an onion to put on the bottom of your feet so the dogs can catch your scent. And when you cross the river, don't go straight, but go in zigzag formation. I had to learn not to be caught. And most of the times, you sleep in the woods or in someone's house called friends of friends. People of the quick faith would hide you and connect you to the next house.
Sweet chariot, coming for carry me home. Sweet home, sweet chariot, coming for carry me home. People get ready for the train that's coming. You don't need no ticket, just get on board. All you need is faith. The ease will come in. You don't need no ticket, just get on board. We are taking you to the civil rights movement 100 years later. Let's take a trip on a train, the Freedom Train, back to the South.
This is a time when people started paying more attention to the unjust ways of Jim Crow laws.
You've probably read about me in your history books. I'm Rosa Parks.
No, I hate reading writing. It's so boring.
I hated school, but it wasn't because of reading and writing. Those were important skills that we all need to succeed in life. I hated it because of the kids. I had to go to school with those who saw me differently. They treated me like a monkey in the zoo. I succeeded in a different way, but we didn't let you hear from Rosa since we were riding in the bus. We were back in 1955. This was a violent time in history, but it gave America new rights and protection for all people in America. I am Cesar Chavez. I'm Ruby Bridges in different parts of the country, but our actions gave people freedom and protection.
Sit down, good. It's going to be good. Nobody turn me around, turn me around, turn me around, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. You keep on talking, walking down the freedom way.
In the next century, a lot of trouble wanted to change our America, and many fought to give us all human and civil rights.
You know, sometimes you get tired of not getting the right you deserve as a human being. I know you know about part of my story.
That's because you wouldn't give up your seat in the bus in the South. You're just tired from working all day.
Hold up, child. Let's go back a minute. Let me tell you the whole story. See, in the South, we may have been free from slavery, but we were still treated differently. Schools were segregated.
Segregation, this is a system that keeps groups of people separated from each other. In the Southern United States until the 1960s, black people were kept apart from white people by Jim Crow laws.
We lived in separate parts of the neighborhood, eat from separate parts of the restaurants, drink from different parts of the water fountains, and sit in separate parts of the movie theaters. Yes, and we had to walk in front of the bus to pay, then get off and walk to the back door to get in the assigned passenger color. See, I took the seat in front, assigned for colored passengers. On this day, the bus was almost full, and the bus driver took it upon themselves to ask the first 4 rows of blacks to give up their seats to the whites. 3 got up. I started a flurry of activity that changed the ways of the South.
This started a motion. This started a motion.
This started a motion all across the country. This started a motion all across the country for America to wake up and make a change. This was called the civil disobedience.
Rosa Parks was the first candidate to make awareness of how unfair Jim Crow laws were. High standing in the community and her willingness to inspire the Black community to boycott the Montgomery buses for over a year. This became an important symbol to the movement.
This is how I found a way to get involved into the movement. With protest, sit-in, and nonviolent acts of disobedience, I was a new minister in Montgomery.
Overcome, we shall overcome, we shall overcome someday. Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday. I was fired from my job as a seamstress in the local department store, but later I was honored for the acts I suffered. See, I wasn't tired of giving in. I was tired from work. I moved to Detroit after those events. See, you know me in history. That single event is marked in history.
This was the start for me to get into the movement. We had meetings in churches. We helped on Blacks getting the right to vote.
We fought for our rights.
We fought for our rights to.
We were arrested.
I was arrested many times. I talked at one church in Birmingham, and some evil people started bombing so many places in Birmingham that the South started calling it bombing camp.
Our story.
Us-
Our story is so tragic.
One story is so tragic, they wrote a poem about it called The Ballad of Birmingham.
This was one of the most vicious and tragic crimes ever committed against humanity.
The poem, The Ballad of Birmingham by Dudley Randall. Mother dear me, go downtown and start back to play and march the streets of Birmingham in the Freedom March today.
For the dogs are fierce and wild. Clubs, hoses, guns, and shells aren't good for a little child.
Mother won't be alone. Other children will go with me and march the streets of Birmingham to make our country free.
No, baby, no. You may not go. If I fear those guns will fire, and you may go to the church instead and sing in the children's choir.
She combed and brushed her night dark hair and bathed rose petals sweet, and drawn white gloves on her small brown hands and white shoes on her feet. The mother smiled to know that her child was in a sacred place, but that smile still last man to come upon her face. For me she heard the explosion, her eyes grew wet and wide.
She raced through the streets of Birmingham, calling for her child. She plucked the bits of glass and brick and lifted out a shoe.
Oh, here's the shoe my baby wore, but baby, where are you? It's a very touching story of the civil rights cause in the long run because it made the United States get more involved in the working laws of the South. 4 girls were killed in an explosion due to a senseless act of racism. 22 other church members were injured. Carol Robertson, Cynthia Wesley, Addie Mae Cullen, and 11-year-old Denise McNair's life were cut short. Riots erupted and the governor called state troopers to get the city under control.
Birmingham military called on President Kennedy to send army troops to address the bombings that were happening.
To children who gained their civil rights.
These marches.
These marches were a powerful moment in history. America became awake. I remember watching TV and seeing kids my age being sprayed with water hoses and attacked by dogs.
Growing up in the church, I learned that God was all people. When I was a child, my best friend was like, we did everything together, but when we started going to school, my best friend went to a white school and I went to a black school. He said he could no longer play with me. I didn't understand, and my parents told me how some white people felt about black people. It was only then that I started to learn that there are white water fountains, restrooms, and restaurants.
Martin was a smart student. He loved to read. When he was 15, he graduated from high school, and he worked in Connecticut in summer.
This was Martin's first time in the North. He was surprised to see how life was for blacks in the North. Black and white children went to the same schools. There were no separate restaurants.
Martin returned to Atlanta and went to Morehouse College. This is the same college his father had attended. He didn't know what he wanted to study, so he decided to become a minister.
Martin didn't know what he wanted to study, but he knew he wanted to help black people. But what was the best way to do that?
One day I'm going to put my body where my mind is.
He also learned.
About persisting in peaceful ways. Martin decided as a minister he could speak out against segregation.
Martin returned to Atlanta, Georgia, and started Morehouse College. This is the same college his father had attended.
I
could show people how much I cared. When I was 17, I gave a sermon at my church. This encouraged me to go into the ministry.
Martin Luther King went to college in Pennsylvania and studied religion. He learned about Mahatma Gandhi, the first leader of modern day India. Gandhi believed change would come from peaceful protest. He himself was an Indian, had experienced racism in Africa, and knows how blacks are treated in South Africa. He himself as an Indian has experienced racism and segregation, and did peaceful protest and spent years in prison because of it.
Martin learned and practiced the teachings of Gandhi. They never got to me, but his trip to India helped him understand his practice and teachings.
Martin Luther King drew heavily
civil rights activist. A good example of him turning the other cheek was when he was giving a speech and a man came up to him and asked him if he was Martin Luther King.
I said yes.
The person spit on Martin Luther King Jr. right in his face.
I took up my handkerchief and wiped off all the spit from my face, and I said that this belongs to you. People who practice nonviolence must be willing to suffer without retaliation inside or out.
So the nonviolent resistor not only refused to shoot his opponent, but he also refused to hate him. Nonviolence is a way of reteaching and convincing people the rightness of your cause. So you all have to try to teach me a lesson on how to cooperate with my family, friends, and my enemies.
I didn't have any friends when I went to school. I was 6 years old when the work of Martin Luther King allowed me to attend a white school near my home.
But in September,
Ruby was still in her old school. Kindergarten several miles away at an all-black school. All-black school I lived.
my father did not want me.
My father didn't want me to take the test because if I did, it would be trouble. But my mother stood strong, believing I would get a better education at an all-white school.
Eventually, she was able to take the test. In 1960, her parents were informed by officers from the NAACP she was one of 6 African-American students to pass the test.
I only lived 5 blocks away from from an all-white school and several miles from an all-black segregated school. I was the only African American student to attend a white school near my home in the South.
September?
But September 14th, 1960, I was at
Federal Marshals.
Federal Marshals.
On the morning of November 14, 1950, federal marshals drove Bridget's and her mother 5 blocks to her school. The marshals explained to Bridget's mother 2 marshals would walk in front of her and 2 would walk behind her.
When I got to school and the marshals arrived, there were people gathered in front of the school yelling and throwing objects. There were barricades set up and policemen everywhere. I thought it was a Mardi Gras celebration when I got to school. I was immediately escorted to the principal's office and spent the entire day there.
There was chaos outside and many white families kept their children home because of it, which meant classes were going to be held there all that day, same thing the next day and the next. It didn't look like she was going to attend school.
Only one teacher brought me agreed to teach me. Mrs. Henry kept in contact with me even as a I was the only African American student in my class to attend Williams Friends Elementary School in the South. Mrs. Henry assured me that she'll be here no matter what is going on outside. Mrs. Henry grew up in Boston.
This was exactly
my dream, but it took a lot of work and hardship. We didn't know when or where it happened. I didn't get to see my dream.
I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of the skin, but the concept of their character. I have a dream today.
Faith is taking the first step even when you don't see the whole staircase.
This will be the day that all God's children will be able to see with new meanings. My country, 'tis a free, sweet land of liberty, of the I see. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrims by, from every mountainside, let freedom ring.
I get it. I have a selfish and stubborn, not realizing what I have is a privilege, but what I have is what I have taken for granted. Thank you, Harriet Tubman. Thank you, Cesar Chavez. Thank you, Rosa Parks, Ruby Bridges.
Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains, from the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the courageous slopes of California.
We will allow freedom to ring.
We will allow freedom to ring from every city and every county.
We have to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men, white men, Jews, Gentiles, Protestants, and Catholics will be able to join hands and sing the Old Negro spiritual.
Free at last! Free at last! Thank God Almighty! Free at last! Si se puede! Si se puede! Si se puede! Yes, we can! Yes, we can! Yes, we can! Yes!
I took voter registration like Martin Luther King, and I formed the Farm Workers Association, which later became the United Farm Workers, the UFW. I got grape growers to join the nation and accept union contracts.
Effective effectively organized?
And I effectively organized most of the industry.
At one point?
And at one point, gaining 50,000 new paying members.
Boycott.
Boycott. Picket. Strikes.
The MLK K-8 to let you know there are times of protest, but it needs to be done with dignity and self-control. You might have thought you were paying attention to your cause, but are you truly be deprived? You have the power to do something great in your life. So take this time now and look into our current society and see what you can change for the better. Look at our environment and see what you can change for the better. This dream is for you to really make a change.